I'll be calling you a radical. This is a book published. I'm not letting this is a big, big deal. I mean, well, it's the biggest. Look, I'm an environmentalist. A revolution to overthrow the government to keep fucking Trump in power? One of the greatest environmental terrorists in fucking history? Fucking worse than Obama. I didn't think it was possible. Fucking, look. This was a full, blown out, organized, paid for coup. And if you're a so-called conservative, remember environmentalists used to be called conservationists. The people that should be going psycho on this are fucking Republicans. Well, conservatives. I'm not a conservative. I'm not a liberal. I don't put myself in either one. I hate both parties. But why is not you so-called conservative going psychotic about this? Do you know what they just did to your whole fucking party and movement? You're destroyed. Look, this was funded and by the way, all the people that 99% of these people that were at this, I actually feel sorry for. You know, the old term, that's Vladimir Lenin, useful idiots. Trump's been using that term for decades. Go ask Manafort. That's what Trump does. He fooled this into all of you. He tricked all of you. An evangelical? A right Christian? Oh, please. He's the opposite of all that. He been working people his entire fucking life. All of them. Go fucking ask Cohen. Go ask any of them. That's what this fucker does. He's a thief. He's a con man. He's the greatest con man, one of them in history. Look, this was a well-organized, well-funded fucking attempt to take over the United States government. It had violence, it had murder, it had death, it had fucking behind-the-scenes organization. Obviously, the fucking Capitol Police stood down. I'll testify. I'll testify in court. I've led this exact identical march. Exact identical. Step first, gave the speech. When I saw Trump's stage and the whole thing, I'm like, this is a fucking coup attempt. I knew it right away. Look, I'm watching the live feed. I got Donnie on the phone there. Filippo the night before, he beats Vigil. He says, they come in and cleared it out the night before. They knew. He says they cleared the whole wall. They cleared everybody, you know. That never happens. He knew. I knew. I'm like, it's on. And then I'm watching the speech and I'm like, whoa. You know, and 2 fucking hour. I mean, it was pure fucking Joseph Grubel fucking stage. I mean, it was incredibly. And I'm like, oh no. We're going to march up there. I mean, everybody's cropping. We're going to march up there and cheer them on. Why don't you play back all the fucking speech? You're too lazy to watch 2 hours of it? Mike better do the right thing. Mike better do the right thing. When they have a fucking assembly with a fucking rope on it, and they're chanting hang pants. Well, he's a conservative. What the fuck? By the way, he's a real, supposedly evangelical conservative. Oh, it's biblical. Look, this is treason right out of the Constitution. Well, beyond treason. So, they wind up, who do you think invented this whole psychotic QAnon? The kid that invented the original websites and the QAnon fucking total lies and the whole Pizzagate. I mean, remember he was hiding in fucking, the FBI was on him and he was hiding in Hawaii. And then boom, it takes all the sites down. This was a whole fucking manufactured, astroturf staged attempt to overthrow the United States government. It had everything. It was a fucking attempted coup. By definition. An attempted coup by definition. Oh, Trump was in power. No. This was an attempt to keep Trump in power. I mean, just block the trend. This is right when they're doing the vote. I mean, they're chanting, hang Pence. Pence is our guy. He's going to somehow they fairy tale psychotic in their mind that somehow the Constitution he didn't have, which was total lies. Just made up shit. It should be the so-called conservatives that should be the most pissed off about this. This flies in the face everything they supposedly stand for. Everything. I'm blown the fuck away by it. I mean, they use these fucking people. And, you know, I usually am not on the side of the cops. But on this one, fuck, I feel sorry for them. You know, I know because there's an outer band. You ain't getting through that outer band. Then there's that second wave. When I saw them and I'm watching the march and I'm watching it live feed and I'm like, What the fuck? I says, they just went right through the first fuck. There's no first layer there. And I saw them on the stairs. I knew it was on. I'm putting up videos. I'm like, oh, it's on. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. The first wave, because the first wave is always there. I mean, I can testify to this. I've led marches with many thousands of people. And less than this people. I mean, this mob. You know, what do you figure this? The march up there was probably 15,000. Maybe 20. Whoa. You know, I've led big marches, that exact march, and we get right there, and they knew they were there. They had plenty of fucking preparation. When you get there, they have a line, and it's riot gear. They got full shields, fucking helmets, masks, and they're arm to arm all the way around. Over there by the Supreme Court site, they have the horses, and they're on the fucking horses with the little tanks. Behind the row to row, the lieutenants stand behind them, which are white shirts. They have the guns, which are rubber bullets, and they're very well organized and structured, and beanbag. You don't want to get shot with one of those. Then they have the giant canisters, not these ones that got us. They have the big tear gas, and they've got their gas masks hanging on their sides, ready to put on their heads. Then at the stairs, the second row, and that's all fucking, that's machine guns. That's fucking assault fucking rifle, and they're all fucking, every one of them have hundreds, by the hundreds. They got all the snipers on the fucking ceiling, on the roofs, tops. There's snipers all over on those platforms. I've seen it. I've been there. I've led these marches. They're ready. Then, if some miracle faction you got through there, inside, right in the doors, they're full assault fucking rifles. So these cops that are the last stand, because they're not there to protect a mob, they're there to protect an individual stuck through security, whatever, who's up to something. That's what they're built for. That's what they're freaking sought for. And so when all of a sudden they're all the way into the chamber, or right there, these other are like, what the fuck? They got through that? They got through that? They don't know. They don't know. They're not sitting there watching TV. You know? That had to be scarier than fuck. And by the way, the two guys that had the heart attack, fuck. It's cold in D.C. And your adrenaline's flying. I can't believe more of them didn't have heart attacks. And that's a 2-mile fucking hike up there. I mean, and your adrenaline's running. You haven't taken care of your fucking, your blood sugar, whatever. I mean, wow. I would never thought I'd say this, but I actually feel sorry for a lot of these protesters. I think they got had. I think they got tricked on the fucking internet. Now Linda McMahon, I mean, they've been up to this for decades and years. Isn't it a perfect metaphor? They're WWF. They bought the fucking fighting. I mean, you know what they've been. I mean, and I like how the right always says, Soros. Well, McMahon, I mean, but this is a full blown out attempt to overthrow the United States fucking government by any stretch of the imagination. It's well funded. It's fucking well organized. I mean, it almost pulled it off. Their full intention was to get into there, drag these senators out, and hang them. I mean, it wasn't that far away from happening. They almost did it. I mean, can you imagine? Say if they would have grabbed one of them, if it wasn't for the last stand inside there, say they would have got one of those senators. Who's going to stop them when they would have drug them out there and fucking lynched them? They had it's there. They're chanting. They were after Pence. They were after them all. Left and right. Trump was calling them rhinos. We're going to primary them. We got to get them. They didn't do the right thing. This is our, play back the whole tape. Don't just take sound bites. I watched the whole thing. I've been at this fucking so long. And listen, this is important. I guess I've got to give my lecture that I have given for years and years about the activists, the street act. Literal speech versus figurative speech. Horizontal fuck versus lineal fuck. You can't say, I want to lynch, Mike Pence. You can't say that. You can't say that. That's against the fucking law. You could say, figuratively, that whole fucking herd of them need to be fucking, bring back the guillotine. That's totally legal, ruled by the United States Supreme Court. That's called figurative speech. Now, almost all activism group is figuratively. Now, when I do our gigs, we photo ops, and it's all figuratively. The quote by RT when I remember in 2013 or 14, and I'm being interviewed, and she says, "What is the Million Mass March up?" Well, they figuratively want to blow up the status quo. Bingo. We don't want to hurt anyone, and we don't want anyone to get hurt. I don't. I'm a man of peace. I don't believe in violence. I love all people. I love all living things, if you haven't noticed. I mean, right down to the last fishy in the sea. We're all connected. I'm a peace activist, the peace vigil. Trump tear gassed it. So figurative, and I guess I've got to give this speech. So all protesters, listen to me. Figurative speech versus literal. All activists should have to take my class before they go into the street. You can't vandalize shit. You can't break fucking property, fucking ruin it. I mean, it's against the law. You can't say that you want to kill people, you want to hurt people. It's illegal. You could say figuratively, the whole herd of these fuckers ought to be rounded up and hung. That's fucking figurative speech. But this was literal. And everybody took it literal. And they're posting all over the internet it was literal. You can figuratively say, we're going to take the Capitol. Totally legal. That's called figurative speech. But literally, I mean, they were literally, and their actions, and I've said this for years because I disagree with these right-wing freaking laws that got pushed through that a preacher or a certain person can be convicted for inciting and causing the violence. No, that's the funders. In an organic movement, each individual is, and I say it in our program, I says, every individual here, I've given these famous speeches right up there, and I give a prayer. Though we walk through the valley of the shadow of death, right at the Opolis. And right there, where they were given theirs. Be yourself. Be loud, be strong, be intense, be radical, but you're responsible for your own actions. Each individual here is responsible for their own actions. And that's the way I think it is, but the law doesn't say that. So, to me, what I think, and it doesn't matter what I think, the law is the law. Personally, I think 99%, even the people that entered there, got had by the McMahons, got had by these super, got had by Donald Trump and his sickening, disgusting, fucking Lulu mental state, his lust for power, and at any cost to hang on to it, which goes back, it's biblical, it goes back thousands of fucking years. I mean, people quote Rome, but you can go back to Egypt, you can go back. You're not going to accept the transition of power when you lose by 7 million fucking votes. And these people got wound up and they got had, but this was meat. I mean, it's everything there is for a coup, for treason. It's written right in the Constitution, which, by the way, treason into the Constitution is punishable by death. I mean, it had murder. I mean, some of those videos I'm seeing, it's a miracle there wasn't freaking hundreds killed. Unbelievable what was going on in there. I'm usually not on the side of fucking cops, but those cops inside there, fuck, I feel sorry for them. I mean, and the people that were wound up, there's individuals that you can see them, they just unhinged, and they're going to go down. I mean, the transition of power will happen. On the 20th, there'll be a new FBI and everything. And I mean, just the fact that the lobbyists in there got scared. I mean, you went right at the heart of power. When you go right at the heart of power, and there's no more power than the United States freaking Senate floor. It doesn't get more powerful than that. You're talking the power of the world, who can wage war on other countries. I mean, the power that they wield, you went right at the heart of the most powerful fucking body of people on the face of the earth. They're going to come back at you. I mean, you attack power like that. Whoa. And it wasn't figuratively. Literally. They were hell-bent. They were trying to get to one of these people to drag them out and fucking hang them. Guy Fawkes, when he did his, went in there, he was literal. He almost pulled it off. You know what they did to him? You know, he was executed. Wow. This was funded. It was organized. It had murder. I mean, at the heart of the most powerful body. Right when fuck, where's Caesar? Oh, fuck. As Rome burns. Whoa. This will be written about for fuck. This is literature. I want to get it up when I can. And I says, oh, the Giants suck. No shit. Why do you think I use that? But how great is that? How great is that photograph? It's incredible. So, I could give a lecture on activism. I remember there was a university in New York City that was going to hire me. Of course, nobody's going to fucking hire me. No, thank you, everybody's funded, but, I don't want people to get hurt. I don't want fucking bloods, but I want change. I'm sick of this fucked up country and this fucking poverty and this fucking... the ecology, the Fukushima is the greatest ecological catastrophe in human history. The environment's dying, 4,000 people dying of COVID, and there's no doubt in my mind that COVID is a mutation from Fukushima. There's no doubt in my mind. The tide pools, fuck, it's... But to keep fucking Trump in power, you're gonna fucking, my God. Fucking... This was a fucking attempted coup to overthrow the United States fucking government to keep this psychopath in power. And it had it all. And so we'll see if they're just going to let him get away with it. Now that we know CNBC is fucking thing that it was funded. Fucking the greatest astroturf. It was a well plotted, well thought out attempt to overthrow the United States fucking government. Got pretty close. Stay tuned.